Welcome back to the Stormcrow Show. My name is Josh.
And I'm Brady.
Yes, you are.
Yes. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I get to talk first. I'm not you. Well, I mean, okay. Never mind. We're jumping in. Today, we are going to be talking about the Ixalan full set review. Well, not a full set review. We're going to be looking at a few cards that we had a reaction for, and we're really excited to talk about this set. So we're going to kind of do it the same way that we did our Hour of Devastation review.
Yep. Now to and to further clarify, we're not going to react like, a reaction video like, "Oh my gosh, pirates! Dinosaurs! Vraska! Lightning strike!"
I mean, that's kind of how I felt when I was first looking at this set, but yeah.
Well, me too, but I mean, if that's all it is, I mean, that happened. We're way too late for that.
That's true.
Anyways, it's going to be, we'll each cover one card that from each rarity that we thought was cool. Each of us thought was cool. So, Brady, what is the common that you thought was really cool and wanted to talk about?
Yeah, so briefly. I wanted to talk about Tishana's Wayfinder. Mm-hmm. It was one of the first cards spoiled with Explore.
Okay.
And I really like this card because a couple different things. Number one is I love the Explore mechanic.
Yeah.
Because it really gives like a card selection. Mm-hmm. And there's so many different strategies you can use with this. Mm-hmm. Second of all, it is a mono green merfolk, which now 5-color merfolk for the first time ever could be a thing. I mean, because there was actually one blue-red merfolk from back in... It was actually a merfolk goblin, and it was back from Apocalypse. And not saying you'd want to play that card, but you could actually play 5-color merfolk now if you wanted to build like a commander deck or something. So
merfolk... my head hurts the thought of a merfolk goblin, but...
I know, right? The artwork was pretty nasty, too. So
it's on the screen, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Are you traumatized out there now? All right.
Anyways, yeah, that was the comment I had. Josh, why don't you tell us about yours?
All right. So, just to give you quick context here in terms of why I like this card before I talk about it specifically. I like playing Modern. I like playing Miracles. But as you know, for those of you who play Modern, Miracles is not really a thing in Modern, period. I mean, there's the Taking Turns deck. But basically the good cards for card selection have been banned. Ponder and Preordain, as far as the 1-drops. So there's not a lot of good stuff to work with Miracles. But they've now printed Opt. And the cool part about it is that it's great enough to work with Miracles, and it's... I think it's just a good card, and it's a good card, I think, even for this set. I mean, when I first saw the Ixalan set, when I was seeing some of the bigger cards, or the mythics and the rares, I was actually a little kind of underwhelmed, because I thought the support was going to be kind of on the weak side. But, yeah, I think it was... this is a good reprint. It's actually a reprint, so it's now in Standard, so now it's going to be in Modern. And I don't think it's as powerful even as a Sleight of Hand, so... I mean, I don't know if Storm will use it, but that's another subject altogether if that's going to be a problem. But I doubt Ops would actually take the Axe if that, unlike, I know Wedge is worried about that from the Mana Source, but...
Sure.
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm just thrilled about this card. Anyway, so yeah, sorry, Brady, what's the uncommon that really sparked your interest?
No problem. I know you were excited about talking about Opt. I wanted to talk about Raptor Hatchling. I love this card. Okay, I love the artwork, first of all. Like, it's super cute to look at. I mean, foil, it's going to be even better. But,
sure.
Anyways, I really like this card because you can play very, very hyper-aggressive with this card. Mm-hmm. Because there's a few other cards that do kind of similar things. Mm-hmm. Or, like, when they die, you get to go search for lands, whatever.
Yeah.
This is kind of one of those cards where you don't really care if it dies. And if they kill it, it's just going to get a little bit worse for them. They have to remove it essentially twice.
True.
Which was why, like, I loved Undying, the Undying mechanic from original Innistrad.
Sure.
And this kind of has almost a pseudo Undying. Not exact, but, I mean, Undying was its own mechanic.
Sure.
But I really like the way Undying cards play, and I can definitely see this fulfilling a similar role.
At minimum, it's a good blocker, because you can just block something bigger than it, or even the same size, and you break parity with it.
Oh, exactly. I mean, there really is no downside to playing this card.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that it's maybe 2 mana, and maybe you want to do something a little more exciting on turn 2, but I don't know.
At least in draft, it's probably really solid. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk about your uncommon?
So, I was surprised when I saw this card because it seems so strong. I mean, can you imagine this card back in the original Innistrad? Chart a course. Literally, draw 2 cards, and then at worst case, you have to discard a card unless you've attacked with the creature this turn. Well, back in the Innistrad block, when Delver's Secrets was, the dominant standard strategy, the blue-white Delver decks, this would have been just broken with it. Obviously, that's not available back then, so that's a bit weird to even think about. But what I'm saying is that this card is very strong, I think, and I'm very surprised they printed it, but I'm really glad.
Definitely.
So,
I love the way this card looks.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't play blue, but I like this card.
Yeah, and I was just like, wow, this is the second blue card I have to talk about. I mean, I like blue in general, but I was surprised I could actually talk about 2 lower rarity cards in blue in this particular set. So far, so good, Wizards. Not bad. But yeah, Brady, what's the rare that really sparked your interest?
Okay, mine was Arcane Adaptation. I love this card because, now, surprisingly, it's blue, which I did not expect to be impressed by anything blue for a long time to come.
Sure.
I'm impressed by the old stuff, but really there hasn't been any new stuff recently that has really made me want to play blue. So, but this card, I looked at it, and if I'm reading it correctly, I have a 5-color elemental deck that for Commander that plays Horde of Notions. And basically the goal is, I don't care if you kill my stuff because I'm going to bring it back anyways with Horde of Notions ability. I do also run a few good stuff creatures in that deck, and it was always a little bit difficult to bring them back from the graveyard. So, but with this card, I'm like, hey, I can suddenly bring back my Atraxa. I might even be able to pitch my Progenitus into my graveyard and bring him back with Horde of Notions, Notions activated ability for half the cost.
Yeah.
Because I could respond to it before it gets shuffled.
Right.
So, if I'm reading this card correctly, I'm just like, oh my goodness, I really hope I open this card in a pack because I want this card bad.
Well, it's funny because, again, going back to older sets, I mean, this is basically a superior version, I think in virtually every way, to Xenographed. And that's a card from New Phyrexia at Rare, mind you. So
yeah, and that was kind of where Magic was reaching its peak in power to a certain extent.
Largely. Well, Innistrad definitely did. But yes, and there's a lot of power there. So I was kind of surprised to even see a card of that caliber. That's not a creature. Let's put it that way. It's not a creature. It's an enchantment. It affects creatures, granted, but that's still pretty sweet. Yeah. Anyway, so the rare that I liked is Revel in Riches.
Yeah.
Yeah, the alternate win condition card. I think it's hilarious. I mean, especially with mechanized production also being available right now.
Oh,
in standard.
That's true.
I just want to see Saffron Olive from MTG Goldfish doing against the odds with these 2 cards, and just Modern, I think in particular, would be quite viable because there'd be so many different ways to just get away with it.
Yep.
But it's such a funny card.
Well, and if you win this way, nobody's going to feel bad about playing against you.
Yeah.
Because it's not one of those stupid cards where it's like, oh, he just won because, stupid things.
Yeah.
He won because he made this deck work, which, I mean, it's just hard enough where it does take some skill to win this way.
Yeah, and it's tricky because you want to usually use those treasures in order to usually sack and create mana, so usually you're not keeping them around, let alone 10 of them. So, obviously with mechanized production, you can actually make copies that way, which is, kind of your second win condition. So I just want to see a strategy playing those cards.
For sure.
in either case, I think it's pretty sweet. Maybe I should just do this. Just buy a bunch of cards and MTGO and post this online and see what happens.
There you go.
But in either case, great card. Wizards again, kind of a. You get my thumbs up on that one. Brady, what's the mythic that caused your heart to skip a beat?
Skip a beat, it did, because this was one of the first mythics spoiled, and it is Carnage Tyrant. I love literally everything about this card. I love its mana cost, I love its stats, I love its 2 relevant keywords, and I love the fact that it can't be countered, and it has great flavor text, the artwork is good. Like, literally, there's nothing I don't like about this card.
Okay.
So, I love it. I love it. I just, like, it's like, I could have 10 of them, and I would still want more, because I will literally find a place for all of them. I mean, it's like, any deck that I have that plays green probably could benefit from a Carnage Tyrant.
True.
So, maybe not, but, I love the card. It's great. And, honestly, I feel like they're hitting it out of the park with blue and green in this set. So, Josh, why don't you talk?
Well, okay.
Yes, talk. That is an order.
All right. So I've been kind of flipping through which cards I was thinking the new Planeswalker that is the new one character-wise, Huatley, I think is how it's pronounced.
Yeah, the red-white one.
I thought about the pirate one, but it's cool conceptually, but it's not, I think, that effective.
Yeah.
If there's more pirate support, I think it will become very strong, but right now it's not quite as much. But I love dinosaurs when I was much younger, and Gishoth, Sun's Avatar. I mean, it's a win condition by itself. It's definitely the kind of a commander staple. It gives you everything you want in a dinosaur tribal deck.
Hey,
I mean, this is the dinosaur along with your mythic that you would want in a commander card, just because this is the card that just gives you more dinosaurs and works very well. So. Great, bunch of powerful keywords, and plus basically not a tutor, but like a draw X, pick and choose one, or look at the top X. It's just a cool card. I'm pretty happy with it. I'll admit, when I first saw it, I wasn't as impressed because, again, I didn't know what the support was going to be for this. But now that I've seen the support, this is actually like, oh, this actually might be playable if I drafted it or something, you know what I mean? That sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. It is a very cool card.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry, I know I'm mixing you up there, Brady. Just keep different.
I had my list, and Josh has just been jumping all around the place, but that's okay.
Well, I wanted to talk about opt. That I knew.
Well, that's fair, and that just means that there are playable cards in this set, so that is a big bonus.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, we're running up on time. Anything else we want to quick mention before we go?
No, just please like, share, subscribe. It really helps us out a lot. Plus, if you leave a comment, we can definitely have a conversation. Maybe go back and forth on some cards. Yeah. Like, that would be fun. I'd be up for that. So
yeah.
Any final thoughts, Josh?
No, that's it. Well, thank you so much for watching. My name is Josh.
And I'm Brady.
And this is Stormcrow Show. That's a random airplane out there. Have a great day.